Mystic ancient secrets can all be answered when you ask the mystic access guru. That is I, the great exalted one. I have come across 3 astral projections through the god plane in the hero metamorphosis to give you the knowledge you deserve.
Hello, hello, hello. Nobody's here yet. Okay, no problem. Still need to do some clicking. There we go. That'll work. Oop, need to fix it. So we have, excuse me, we have PEA BRAIN. And we're going to debunk his videos because he is a PEA BRAIN. He misspells it, but that's only because flat earthers don't know how to spell. So anyway, let's watch. So we got 11 videos. Most are under 10 minutes, fewer a little longer. But yeah, we got a few. Here, let's move this up to there. Oops. That's not what I wanted. And they're a little out of chronological order, but not all of them. Got somebody here. And they left. If it's real, why are you faking everything? We're not faking everything, dipshit. If the earth is flat, why aren't you proving it? That's the bigger question. See, they have to put this meme up for a minute because flat earthers can't read too fast. So that was worthless. That was fucking worthless. See, do we have this one? School time. School time? Oh no, not school time. Yeah, we can include this one.
So, critical think.
So still waiting for people to show up. Guess we could give it a little wait. Got tired of going through mouse pads like crazy. The one that I was using, this one, gets dirty and it gets wrinkled and yeah, it's just yeah. I like the texture though. I like the texture. It tracks very well. So what I did was I bought this. This is a carbon fiber. This is carbon fiber. And it's got rubber feet so it doesn't slide around. And it doesn't slide, which is really nice. And I'm waiting for some glass skates for my mouse so it slides better on the carbon fiber plate, which will allow me to have quicker response times when playing games.
So, Critical Think has admitted that he doesn't know the difference between great circles and small circles, which are also called latitude lines, on his sphere Earth. He seems sincere enough. I would like to help him, so hopefully we'll be able to do that here today. Real quick, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe.
So when did he admit that? Just curious.
And if you want a thumbs up, go ahead and thumbs up. And if you want to support the channel, there are some links in the description, and there's also something called Super Thanks. Okay, stay tuned till the end because I have a little blooper at the end too. All right, let's go.
Now, PEA BRAIN likes to say that all great circles are straight lines and latitude lines are turns. Now, some of the literature does sort of say that.
You have to turn to some extent on every line.
But to me, they're all circles, right? Every one of them is a circle. So why is one turning and the other one not? I don't get it. So why is one turning and the other one not? I don't get it. I don't get it.
Oh. Hey, gravity, it's hard.
So this is for you, Critical Think. You said you didn't understand the difference between a small circle and a great circle. To you, they're just circles, right? So here we go. Here's a sphere. And in spherical geometry, this is what it says. The geometry of a sphere, known as spherical geometry.
Spherical geometry? That's what geometry is. It deals with spherical. It deals with spherical shapes. It's the metrics of a globe. Of course, it extends into other things.
Focuses on the properties and figures located on the surface of the sphere. That's what you're missing. You're just saying a circle, a drawn circle, a circle is a circle. You don't see how one is a turn and one you traverse straight. One you traverse in a turn, the other one
Did he say that? Or did he just say that they're all circles?
you traverse straight. You don't see the difference. Okay, here we go. You're gonna get it after this for sure. You better. All right. Just like my rotating platform, the blue one, I'll show you that in a second. This is rotating east, this ball, right? Okay, this arm right here, this is a tangent to the rotation or at a right angle. Everything moves at a right angle to that. That's how it starts anyway. Now, this is a straight line called a great circle. I've gone over great circles a lot. It's the largest circle you can draw in a sphere, and you traverse it straight. Here's my little Lego person. They would traverse it like this. Okay, and my little Lego guy represents water, right? So I have a person because I want you to see the orientation of people on the surface. This is all about the surface of a sphere, which is perpendicular
Hey, Westside.
to the center. And we, standing on the sphere, would also be perpendicular to the center of the Earth. This latitude line here, like maybe 70 degrees north latitude, representing the ground, is a turn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now you have to keep looking at the surface. Try to be perpendicular to the surface so you can see. That's a turn. This one, great circle, is straight. As per Newton's first law of motion, everything wants to go in a straight line.
Right.
So this, say it's about 400 mile per hour moving water, rotating,
Hey, Calder.
wants to go in a straight line. And as far as being on the surface, there are actually like two frames of reference. You have the non-inertial frame. That means the one that's not still, but actually the one that's moving in your model is the Earth. So from that frame of reference, all you would see is this latitude line represents the ground, and it is separating. Both are moving, let's say 400 miles per hour. The blue represents the water, the blue line. You would see the water moving south. as you're standing on the sphere. Now, looking at it from above in the inertial reference frame, which means still non-moving, that would be space, you would see this whole thing moving together, but you would still see, it would almost be like spiraling, but it would be moving together, and you would see the water separating from the land until it hits either the bank of whatever's holding the water, a Great Lake or ocean or a pond, whatever, or it would collide at the equator with all the stuff from the south would do the same thing. Okay, so your cylinder idea is this. So I put this on here. Now this is this is a cylinder. This is what you're saying. Now, remember your lines or your circles, your circles are slices of a sphere. So it has the surface of the sphere. They're not cylinders, as you tried to make out. This person would have to walk this way around, or actually she has skates on, would go this way, all the way around the sphere. Well, that's not how
Hey, deplorable.
you traverse a sphere. You're not at this angle. We're not at that angle to the sphere. No, we're at this angle. You have to take the ground. So get that out. We're not that. You traverse it like this. And this is a turn. All the way around. Just like if you laid a hula hoop down at the North Pole, clearly you can see this is a turn. Okay, so clearly you can
That's a fast skater.
see this is a turn. Right? So, yes,
That skater's going about 10,000 miles an hour
you can look
or
at a latitude
faster.
line like
Hey, white trash.
this and say, oh, it's a straight line. No, it's not a straight line because you have to take the surface into account. You traverse a different part of that line because it's a slice of a sphere, because it's a slice of a sphere, because it's
Yeah, it's a slice of a sphere that we fucking live on. Yeah.
a slice of a sphere, not just a circle. Well, I'll take it like a hula hoop. Right? Now, if you traverse the hula hoop this way,
Right. And as you look at it from this this way, it's a straight line, isn't it?
that's a great circle. You traverse it like this. That's a great circle. That's at the equator. That's the only place the ground would have you traversing in a straight line. As you move up, you start to move onto this side and you travel like this. And then when you
See, I didn't see the original conversation, so I can't really comment.
get to the North Pole, now you're traversing in a circle. Right around, you go all the way around.
Yes, white. Yes, gravity hits hard. It blows my mind too. But you have to understand that they think that everything that debunks them or proves them wrong is fake.
In a circle. See how that works?
Now, PEA BRAIN likes to say that all great circles are straight lines and latitude lines are turns.
And they are. If you said anything different, you're wrong.
Now, some of the literature does sort of say that, but to me, they're all circles, right? Every one of them is a circle. So why is one turning and the other one not? I don't.
Because of geometry. Why is he saying this?
I don't get it.
Why is he saying that? That's a dumb fucking thing to say. It really is.
All the way around, just like if you laid a hula hoop down at the North Pole.
I mean, didn't FTFE make this mistake too? Saying that you wouldn't have to turn on a latitude line?
Clearly, you can see this is a turn.
No, this is from a year ago.
It was around. Shoot, all I can see is my hand. Just knocked her hair off. This is a disaster. It's not really going as planned here. How's
All right, we don't want to see your bloopers. Your entire fucking channel is a blooper, dude. So this is green water moves to equator of my blue spinning ball.
Okay, here's a little demonstration how water moves to the equator of a spinning ball. Here's my trusty blue ball, and I have some latitude lines drawn on it. So this latitude line where I have this little green drop of water is about, I don't know, 50, 55 degrees north latitude. Okay, so you'd have hundreds of mile per hour moving water, which wants to move straight. The ground is being forced to turn by nature of a sphere. That line, which critical think that looks straight. All you have to do is look at it at the right angle. No, the right angle is to look at it from perpendicular to the surface because it's a sphere. See, they thought and they described it as a cylinder. This is
Hey, biggest doggus.
how they made their sphere work. But the fact is, all points on a rotating sphere are forcing you to turn on the rotating sphere Earth, left in the northern hemisphere and to the right in the southern hemisphere, except
Yeah. Well, depending on which direction you go, right? Depending on which direction you go. But yeah, you are correct.
for the equator.
It would be a long curve. Be a real long curve. But yeah, you would have to turn if you were going true east or true west.
That you turn down and around the ball, like I'm demonstrating.
But it's very fucking unnoticeable because the turn is so gradual. So let's see. Let me ask the Google box. What is the diameter of the... No, here, that's not what I want. What is the circumference of the 45th latitude line? The circumference of the Earth at the 45th latitude line, both north and south, is approximately 28,385 kilometers. So, PEA BRAIN, build a roundabout that is 28,385 kilometers long from start point to end point. You know, that long, that much of road you have to build. And tell me, driving at, I don't know, 50 miles an hour, how much you'd have to turn? Could you do that?
Demonstrating with these cars, but as you can see, the latitude line up here around 50 degrees north latitude is a turn, right? When I show the car moving straight, you can see it's not a straight line, right? That straight path the car's making is the path water will take as it separates from the ground and it migrates down to the south. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. Because I actually had some ballers say to me, how do you know the water is moving to the equator? It's not. It's just lifting at the equator. And I said, all this water, like this red ball, all this water is being stored at the equator and that's lifting off? No, dumbos. It's moving to the equator. Newton's law, which is just common sense and what we observe, things move in a straight line. They don't want to turn. There's a force required to make things circle or turn.
And one other experiment we can do to show that a force inward is required to keep the ball moving in a circular path is to, at some point, as the ball is rolling around there, I'll just pick up the ring and watch what happens to the ball. The ball will be moving in this path. When the ball is right here, I'll lift up the ring and you'll notice that the ball will continue on with a straight line motion in the absence.
Yeah, that's Newton's law of motion, one of them.
Of a net force.
Was that first law?
Demonstrating that a centripetal force or an inward force is required to keep an object moving in a circular path.
Hey, Lindsay.
Like these latitude lines on a sphere. And that force that's forcing the ground to turn, and in this case it's a rubber ball, but on the Earth, the force is the sphere itself. And the ground being bunched up in its ground. You know, although they say that there was an equatorial bulge, there is an equatorial bulge and the ground shifted and moved, but it's in equilibrium, and they may come up with some cockamamie story.
Right. It's in equilibrium now because it's been doing this for so long. And that's why there's an equatorial bulge. That's why it doesn't get any fucking bigger, you dipshit.
But equilibrium just means that it's bunched up. It's moved, it's wedged up against ground in front of it. The equator is bulged up. You know, I talked about that in this video, my last one I put up. What I'm going to demonstrate here is that the water will move south. So I use this little green dye, this little drop of water. And this has two things working against the free moving. Usually water is very free moving. Well, when you have a small amount like this, it's heavily influenced by friction. And again, also, this is friction. I need friction because that's the only thing that will get the water up to speed with the...
So why are you spinning it so fast? Why are you spinning it so fast, man? Hey, Cygnus. Do you think the Earth spins that fast?
Rotation. Otherwise, the ball will spin right out from under the water, and the water would never get going. This ball Earth would never even have come into existence. It's a fantasy. It's fiction. It's not real. So
it's not real, but we have photos of the Earth from space showing it as a sphere. We've been to the moon and seen it from space, moron.
Here, the drop of water is adhered to the ball, so when I spin it, it's getting the speed, so now it has momentum, and it wants to go in a straight line. And the straight line is going to take it on a southern course, right? Another thing it has working against it as far as being free moving, like large bodies of water, anything above a 1/4 inch high will be free moving water.
And all standing bodies of water have a sphericity of 4,000 miles of a 4,000 mile radius.
Because it overcomes the surface tension. Here, it has friction and surface tension are working to hold this water from moving. And I had to use a small drop of water so that it wouldn't just drip right off. So it's a very small...
Right, drip off where? Down toward the Earth? Because the Earth has gravity?
Small drop of water. And one more thing, I oriented the ball so that the latitude line is vertical, so that it shares its up part of the time and it's down on the other side. So when it's up, it would want to slide toward the pole. When the drop is down, it wants to slide to the equator. So,
oh, yeah, that makes sense.
In a way, I've neutralized gravity, right? The downward vector, because I have the line lined up with the downward. And so when I spin it, you'll see that the water moves to the equator. Now, I actually had these clowns say to me...
Yeah, that's physics.
And I might have said this already. How do you know the water's moving to the equator? That's water just lifting off from the equator of the ball. You don't know that water is from other parts of the ball is moving to the equator? I was like, really? All this water you think is just being stored on the...
I'm curious to know...
Lifting... How do you know the water...
Why the water went this direction and then this direction? Why did it started here. You can see that it started here. Why did it go this direction and then this direction?
It's moving to the equator. That's water just lifting off from the equator of the ball. You don't know that water...
I mean, it could be that he spun it and then stopped it and it moved it, and then he spun it, started spinning it faster, and it went.
Is from other parts of the ball is moving...
Hey, Lisa.
...to the equator. I was like, really? All this water you think is just being stored on the equator of this red ball? Come on. So here's a little proof that I came up with. Do this yourself. Get a ball, right? You don't need dye. Just use regular water. I use the dye for the camera. That's all, just so you can see it better. But I've done it many times with water over the past year. I just never filmed it or made a video on it. But yeah, the water moves every time.
So spin it the same rate that the Earth spins, at 1 revolution per day. Spin it that fast.
It moves toward the equator. So there you go. Proof that you would never see scenes like this when the wind's not blowing, of dead still mirror-like water.
But we do. See, we see it right here. We see it right here.
because the water wants to separate. The air wants to separate. The air
Water what to separate from what? To separate from what?
would be doing the same thing. All the air would be moving to the equator, and that equates to wind, right? So as all the other points on the sphere are rotating to the left,
No, because the air travels with the Earth. The air isn't prone to the same fucking forces on Earth than it is in the sky. What the fuck are you talking about?
they're being hit with air and water moving to the right. So again, you would never see this. And this is right now. They say we're rotating right now.
Yeah, we are. We're absolutely rotating right now. Thanks, Bob.
Yet the free-moving water, the most easily moved, the liquid, is perfectly still and not complete.
Right, it's at equilibrium. It's under constant velocity. It's not changing. The velocity isn't changing, dipshit. Hey, biggest August. What the fuck are you talking about? It's reached its equilibrium. It isn't speeding up or slowing down, so there's no change in velocity at this point.
Completely
The fuck?
engulfing the equator, which it should do, because it's the most easily moved.
Thanks, Bob Squared, because he did it twice. He did it once for the documentary, and then he didn't learn his lesson, right? He bet the farm that a $20,000 tool wouldn't do the exact thing that it claims to do, or that the engineers that designed it claim it to do. So he doubled down, and he lost. And he doubled down and did it on Earth, on camera, in his office, on a desk. And it showed precession of how many degrees per hour do you think? Yeah, so he bet the farm that $20,000 tools wouldn't do exactly what they're advertised to do. Twice, and he fucking lost.
And air, all our air should
Hey, Stanley.
be.
Why would it do that? Why would it do that? See, that's even going too fast, man. So this is what this bonehead thinks what would happen. But see, what we do see is the Coriolis effect when you have high winds with like hurricanes, cyclones. We see that. We see that water can drain one way south of the equator and the opposite direction north of the equator. And I'm not talking about the one that they showed a tourist with the golden sink. No, I'm talking about Veritasium and Dustin when they did it. When one of them was way far south of the equator and the other one was north of the equator. I believe they were at the same latitude number. One was just north latitude, one was south latitude. They let the pools sit. Let's see if we can find that. Veritasium proves Coriolis. Did I even spell it? Yeah, here we go.
A couple of years ago,
There we go.
my friend Destin and
Yeah, I'll probably get struck.
I wanted to definitively answer the question, does water actually swirl
Because while they are men of science, they are not men of the Constitution.
the opposite direction down the drain in the other hemisphere. At the time, I was living in Sydney, Australia, and Destin was in Huntsville, Alabama. Those are about the same latitude, just opposite sides of the equator. So we created 2 videos that were meant to be watched simultaneously, and if you want to synchronize them yourself, you can click the link in the description. But we also recognized that that was a hassle for some people, particularly watching on mobile devices, and that's why I'm now releasing this extra wide video of both videos synchronized.
Yeah, but in Australia, they have that machine that makes it spin the other way, right?
The Simpsons did a whole episode based
Yeah.
on toilets flushing the opposite direction in Australia. Plus, other shows have supposedly demonstrated this effect.
So I've seen documentaries that seem to indicate that which hemisphere you're in determines which way the water is going to swirl. But there's this other group of people, and they seem really confident that it doesn't matter where you're at, the water's going to swirl however it wants.
So is this a real effect or not?
The application of this principle to draining water in Earth's 2 hemispheres is just bunk.
But have you ever just looked for yourself and figured out which way your toilet swirls?
If you try it yourself, you'll find inconsistent results.
Here in Alabama, I've noticed that some turn counterclockwise and some go clockwise.
This sink sometimes drains one way and sometimes the other way.
You see, most toilets have little jets in it, so the swirl direction is determined by the design of the toilet and not which hemisphere you're in.
In any container of water, there's always going to be some rotation. The water is not perfectly still. And it is this, rather than the hemisphere, that determines which way the water will swirl down the drain.
So it's a myth. Crossing the equator does not mean the toilet's going to change directions. But what if we come into the garage and do a more controlled experiment?
But what if we could eliminate all motion from the water?
This is a 1.5 meter kiddie pool.
I have here a 5-foot wide kiddie pool.
Instead of filling the pool with no vorticity at all, I'm going against the way it's supposed to drain. So I'm trying to fill it with the flow going clockwise.
I actually filled the pool in the anti-clockwise direction to be sure that any clockwise motion we see is not due to the way I filled the pool.
So let's let the water settle for a complete day so that we know that it's perfectly still.
And I've left this water sitting here for 24 hours. So it seems like I've damped all of the motions from the filling.
Well, I'm not going to reach in and pull a plug out because that would induce some vorticity. I'm going to use this valve that I have connected to the bottom of the pool.
I really hope this works. Destin, wish me luck.
Good luck, Derek.
I'm about to pull the plug.
Okay, opening the valve in 3, 2, 1. Water should be flowing.
And the pool is draining. But you can't see any motion of the water just yet.
Okay, water's been flowing for a couple of minutes and I haven't seen anything yet, so we're going to put some dye in it.
To help us see where the water's flowing, I'm going to put some food coloring in on the 4 cardinal directions around the pool.
And what do you fucking know?
It's like a tornado, like right off the bat. We got a
What do you know?
counterclockwise rotation. We filled it up clockwise and now it's going counterclockwise.
You can clearly see that the water is flowing clockwise in this direction, and that makes sense because that's how it should flow in the southern hemisphere due to the Earth's rotation.
We have a kiddie pool in my garage and the whole Earth is rotating and the water's going counterclockwise because I'm in the northern hemisphere. It's real. This is real.
But you
Yep.
can see what a tiny little effect it is and what extraordinary lengths I had to go to see this effect. So really, you're not going to see it in a bathtub and you're not going to see it in a sink or in a toilet.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's the best goddamn video for Coriolis that I've ever fucking seen. Yeah, it's just perspective.
Anyway, they're pushing this fictitious ball on us. They've been pushing it on
It's not a fictitious ball. This proves it.
us for a long time.
So he's just an idiot again. See, you've got the downward force of gravity, which keeps the water wanting to stay where it is, wanting to stay in a level state, equidistant from the center of the Earth. But you also have a 1 revolution per day fucking rotational vector on it, which imparts some centripetal force to the water. but it's not going to do like what you think it does in your fucking video, you goddamn dumb fuck. Hey, it's Strike. So this is deconstructing the spinning ball Earth with a rotating pot of water and some green dye. Cool.
Okay, so would water have ever rotated on this rotating sphere when the
I mean, it's like doing your bank book, right? Your bank ledger as a flat earther must be horrible. It's like, man, my bank ledger says I'm supposed to have billions of dollars, but I'm overdrawn. I don't understand. Well, let's look at what you did here. Well, see, you added all the numbers. You didn't subtract anything. Well, no, minus doesn't exist. That's a flat earther. It's like, well, all the water should rush to the equator and it should be dried. Well, gravity holds it down. I don't believe in gravity. It's the same thing.
suppose that, the planet got spinning, right? When it was first big banged into existence. Well, here I have a pot of water, and it actually has more friction than the globe because it's...
Right, that shows that water adheres to the forces that are put upon it.
It's got friction below, and it's got friction on the sidewalls. Okay, so I'm going to put in this green dye.
Okay.
And we start to spin it. So you can see the dye is not turning. That's in...
But yeah, it does.
In the water. The water's not moving. It has two reasons that the...
Right, because water is not a solid object, dumb fuck. Water wants to remain at rest, as do all things, until acted on by an outside force, which would be the circular rotation of the pot. And since it's a fluid, it's not going to turn all at once, all of it. It has friction. It adheres to itself. So the outside starts turning, and then the rotational vector starts to work its way inward toward the center until all of it's rotating. You dumb motherfucker.
The water would move. Friction and surface tension. Well, surface tension is not going to come into play. And friction, it's only when the dye sinks to the bottom and you see a little bit of friction at play, but the rest of the water is not going to turn. When they say gravity, well, I'm on the gravity ball. Let me repeat. I'm on your gravity ball doing this.
Right, but Jesus Christ. They don't understand that something that's on the earth won't have the same fucking gravitational force as the fucking earth. You can't do experiments that use gravity on a bigger fucking gravity. On a bigger source of gravity. It's going to fuck shit up. It's like if you want to see if you got like a magnet and a piece of metal and you want to see if this metal will stick to this magnet, you don't do it over a fucking 4,000 mile radius fucking magnet, you moron. You fucking idiot. It's like I want to show how this magnet will pull this piece of metal down while standing underneath a fucking car lifting electromagnet that's turned on, right? It's not going to go. It's going to go that way, right? It's not going to go down toward the little one. It's going to go up toward the fucking big one. You fucking retard.
This experiment. And it's not forcing the water to turn.
I saw a new name. Who's it? Transit. Hey, what's up? Good to have you here. Glad to have you.
Right? Because the green dye is not moving and the ground is rotating out from under it.
But did you see that?
Green dye is not moving and the ground...
See how it's this hasn't touched the ground yet. This hasn't touched the pot yet, but it is moving.
...and is rotating out from under it. And here I'll do the same thing. I put some dots on the bottom. scribbled some black marker so you can see the ground turning from underneath the green dye. And just a reminder, that's thousands of feet deep water moving at hundreds of
But yet this is moving over.
miles per hour, and the water wants to move in a straight line. So does the air. But the ground is forcing it to turn. All points on a sphere are forcing it to turn. And of course, I have the AE map here, so
Did he already debunk it? Of course he did.
you can see the whole Earth and see all the water, and you can see the ground rotating or turning out from under the water. Would the water have ever gotten turning with the rotating sphere Earth?
Yeah, I think I remember watching Bob's video. It's been a while.
So what's going to make the water turn with the rotating Earth? Well, actually, never mind.
Adherence, surface or water tension, the attractive nature of water, friction with water in fluids.
Mind what's going to make it turn. What's going to make it even move with the ground? The ground is going to have to drag the water along, right? So
Yeah,
what would
yeah,
happen
it will.
if we hovered in a helicopter at 45 degrees north latitude for about 3 hours? Well,
I mean, in a helicopter like this that has to be manually controlled, it's probably going to stay in the same place.
let's find out.
Yep, and see, the pilot is going to see the Earth, is going to see that target that he lifted off of, and he's going to want to keep his helicopter dead center on that target. That's what's going to happen. But see, the helicopter is flying in the atmosphere that's moving with the Earth. So he's going to follow the Earth, you dumb fuck. He's going to follow this target. He's going to stay over it. Plus the fact that, like I said before, he has to manually control that helicopter. It's the hardest aircraft to fly.
Exactly. We'd end up at the equator,
No, you wouldn't.
because all latitude lines are a turn to the left in the northern hemisphere and to the right in the southern hemisphere. So the ground is being forced to turn by nature of a rotating sphere. So
He really just doesn't fucking get it, does he?
a centripetal force is required. So the sphere itself has centripetal force where it forces the ground to turn. But once the helicopter lifts off the ground, it's no longer connected to the ground. No more centripetal force.
So he doesn't understand conservation of angular momentum. Yeah, he's just dumb as fuck.
And Isaac Newton's law takes over. An object in motion will tend to stay in motion at a constant speed and in a straight line. And at 45 degrees north latitude, remember, the Earth would be rotating about 500 miles per hour. So that's 500 miles per hour of momentum
That's one revolution per day.
that the helicopter has. Now, as it's sitting on the ground, it's being forced to turn. But once it lifts, it's no longer connected to the ground and will go off in a straight line. Just like a rock on the end of a string, twirl it over your head, it'll circle. But if the string breaks, the rock shoots off in a straight line because it's no longer tethered. Okay? So do we observe this in reality? No, we do not. Because the Earth's not a spinning ball. Because if it was, we would have to observe this. The helicopter, within a few hours, would be at the equator. It'd be moving away from the pad that it's hovering over at hundreds of miles per hour.
Why? Give us a reason why. See, you've obviously never heard of helicopters or how hard they are to control. I mean, I just explained that to you.
So not only would the helicopter move to the equator, everything not tied down would move to the equator. All the thousands of feet deep water in all the oceans, lakes, ponds would be crashing on all the southern shores of its shorelines, and then ultimately would be crashing at the equator. So would all the air that we breathe would be going. Anything not really tied down
No, this is PEA BRAIN.
would move. And so you'd never see scenes like this, because the moving air would create wind. Wind creates turbulence. You'd see the water ripples and waves on the water. And the water moving creates all kinds of turbulence as well. Big waves and, crashing against the shores. And so, no, none of that is real. None of that happens. This is what we observed when the wind's not blowing, because the Earth is flat and it's not a rotating ball. So, no, we don't observe this because...
So instead of proving how little about physics you understand, how about proving you're flat Earth, dumb fuck? How about that?
the ball Earth is fake.
So yeah, he just doesn't understand shit still.
In conclusion, not only is the Foucault pendulum a trick, it doesn't even debunk the flat Earth.
Oh, a trick? How does this work? How does this work on a flat Earth? How does it work? How does it process on flat Earth that doesn't move?
What it does debunk is the spinning ball Earth.
So something that works only by the Earth spinning debunks the spinning Earth. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Well, as my thumbnail suggests, I'm doing a video on the Foucault pendulum and how that's going to wreck the ball Earth.
Well, you're pretending to be Miley Cyrus? You're going to have to get a lot cuter.
This is a twofer. I'm doing two things. I'm going to debunk the Foucault pendulum, and I'm going to debunk
No, you won't.
the spinning ball Earth.
No, you won't, because you don't understand the Foucault pendulum or how it's constructed. You don't understand the physics behind it. You can't do that if you don't understand those things.
Okay, actually, I'm going to use the Foucault pendulum to debunk the spinning ball. First,
Cool.
I need to give you a little background, so hang tight. So this is a Earth that I made, has a bullseye. I'm going to put a drone on the bullseye. Now see the dark blue circle? That's about 45 degrees north latitude. All right, that's the curve. You see the turn? All right, the light blue lines are great circles. That is a course of a straight line. A great circle is a straight line on a sphere, right? If you're following the contour.
Right, it's the equator of a sphere, depending on where you put the equator. Basically like the equator, except it can be anywhere on it. It's basically divides the sphere into hemispheres, equal hemispheres.
Of the sphere. On the surface of the sphere, it's a straight line called a great circle. That's the light blue lines. The orange line is also a great circle, and that's the equator. And the equator is the only latitude line that you would traverse in a straight line. That's the only place as far as the latitudes that you do that. All longitudes are also great circles. And a great circle is the biggest circle
Okay, which has nothing to do with the Foucault pendulum.
you can draw on a sphere.
Well, it has something to do with it.
You cannot have two parallel great circles. They all
Yes,
intersect one another.
bisecting the sphere equally.
The other latitude lines, all other latitudes, once you leave the equator, are called small circles or parallels. You've heard of that, right? So this would be the 45th parallel. So the ground is, let's say it's rotating about 500 miles per hour. I'm just going to show you what the drone looks like sitting on the ground, and we're going to rotate.
We don't measure rotational speed in miles an hour, you fucking moron, but yeah, we understand what you're trying to say.
Okay, as you can see, the drone was sitting on the ground and just followed the contour of the Earth.
Yeah.
And just followed the turn. 45 degrees north latitude is a turn. Remember, if the only latitude line that's a great circle is the equator, and that's the only circle that you would traverse in a straight line, all of the small circles then would be what? Turns. Correct. Now, the confusing thing is you go from a Ferris wheel type of motion on the equator to a merry-go-round. You kind of morph into it. As you move up, it starts to have less of a down and around following the curvature and starts to turn, right? It's like a convex instead of a flat merry-go-round surface. It's convex, but it still is forcing you to turn, right? And so my argument is that all water, air, everything, and especially like a hovering drone, will in fact move to the equator. It'll move in a straight line because although it's circling at 500 miles per hour, it's turning at 500 miles per hour. Once it lifts off the ground, Newton's first law of motion takes over, and it's going to shoot off in a straight line because it no longer has the centrifugal.
No, it won't. No, it won't. It follows the laws of angular momentum, of conservation of momentum. You're a fucking moron, man.
Centripetal force. It's no longer in contact with the ground, which was forcing it to turn as it sat on the ground. Now it's up, and it shoots off in a straight line, and it'll head to the equator. And for these ball earth brainiacs out there that want to argue, how would you hover the helicopter, or how would you hover the drone? They're trying to argue a straw man.
No, it's not a straw man. Helicopters have to be manually controlled, so do drones.
So this drone in this video has a max speed of 15 miles per hour. Okay, so go ahead and just keep the drone over the spot that you're lifting off the ground. In this case, it has a bullseye, right? Keep the drone over that spot. Guess what? You won't be able to do it within a very short period of time. Now, remember, it's rotating at 500 miles per hour.
Yeah, we will. It's done all the time, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
So it's forcing the ground. Everything's being forced as long as you're on the ground.
So you don't think, you think every footage done by a drone operator shows them having to move? They don't hold it still?
You have friction and you're being forced to turn with the ground. But if you raise up off the ground, you hover up, now Newton's first law of motion takes over. Okay? An object at rest will tend to stay at rest. That would be the drone sitting on the ground. It's doing a 500 mile per hour turn at 45 degrees north latitude. And from our perspective on the turning platform, the Earth, the rotating Earth, it would be at rest. But an object in motion will tend to stay in motion at a constant speed and in a straight line, unless there's a force like a centripetal force, which is required to make something turn.
And one other experiment we can do to show that a force inward is required to keep the ball moving in a circular path is to...
We've seen this part.
Force, it's gravity.
Get to the part where you debug Foucault's pendulum.
This is 100% accurate, so I don't want...
Show us how Foucault's pendulum's bunk.
I want to hear, oh, how are you going to hover it, PEA BRAIN, or whatever. Drone. I had a toy drone one time, and you can just hover it, all right? With your controls, and you hover it. And just stay over the spot.
But you said you couldn't.
Spot that you raised off the ground. And it would...
Right, but you just said you couldn't do that.
Have to move to the equator, something we do not see. This does not happen. Okay? In Realityville, this never happens. Millions of drones...
Right, because of conservation of momentum, because the Earth is moving so fucking slow. The fuck are you talking about?
Drones flown all over the world. This does not happen. But what does happen, like when you're swinging a rock on the end of a string, the rock will circle. So the centripetal force is the string. The string is causing it, and your hand motion, you're circling it, you're making it circle. That's all part of the centripetal force and the friction, you could say. That's really severe friction with the string attached to the rock, right? It's tied on.
Dude, you're just repeating what you did in your last 18 videos. Get on with the subject.
To the rock. But if that breaks, does the rock keep circling around your head? No. The rock shoots off in a straight line. Now, Newton's law. So the momentum, the 500 mile per hour momentum of the drone, once it lifts off the ground, it no longer is tethered like the rock on the end of the string, and it will fly off in a straight line as per Newton's law. If this were real. Okay, so now how does the Foucault pendulum debunk the spinning ball Earth? And how does all of it then debunk the Foucault pendulum? All right, well, with the pendulum, when you're watching it, you're seeing the pendulum work its way back and forth, and it goes around, you know, let's say, depending on where they set it up, in a 24-hour period, if you put it at the North Pole, and it'll go around in 24 hours, right, knocking all the little pegs down. You've seen Foucault.
Right, and depending on how far south you go, it doesn't go around that much. It stops going around as much the further you go south till you get to the equator, and it doesn't go around at all.
Pendulum. What that's telling you is we're on the reference frame that's actually moving. We're on the rotating Earth. But because we're on the rotating Earth, we don't see the Earth rotating, so we see the Foucault pendulum rotating.
Right, because of Newton's first law of motion, that it wants to remain going in a straight line. And since that's about a 300-pound ball of fucking lead covered in brass, it's going to go in a straight line, and it's not going to want to veer left or right. It's going to keep its orientation in 3D space, and as the Earth turns, it turns.
Now, here's a little animation I made. Now, this is from the reference frame of the Foucault pendulum. Now you can see the Earth turning, right? That's the platform underneath it is rotating.
Right, that's exactly what happens, dipshit.
So this busts the ball Earth because the drone would have to do this.
No, that's not what happens, man. It's not what happens.
This means that when the pendulum is swinging in free space, it's independent of the ground. The ground is not forcing it to turn once it's lifted off, right? Now, if you...
So this is going a lot faster. See, rotate this at the rate that the Earth is spinning. Not at some over-exaggerated rate that you think proves your point. Be honest, man.
You laid the pendulum on the ground, it would just turn with the Earth like the drone when it's sitting on the bullseye. But once it lifts off, now it's like swinging in free space. While it's on the ground, it's being forced to turn, but now it's no longer forced to turn.
Say what? If it's sitting on the ground, it's motionless. It's motionless. It's not going to move anywhere if it's sitting on the fucking ground, dipshit.
500-mile-an-hour circular turning momentum turns into straight line momentum, and it goes to the equator. So the Foucault pendulum's a fraud. It's fake. It's just like the guys at the equator with the golden sinks and the, you know, showing you how the water rotates.
You mean like this?
Because
This isn't a fraud. This isn't a fraud. This is a controlled experiment, dipshit.
Each direction. It's a trick.
Let's keep going.
Here's a video experiment. They put a sink right on top of the...
Right, that's not the one you want to look at. This is the one you want to look at. Right here.
There are other sources of angular momentum that totally wash out this effect.
we just proved it because we just eliminated variables.
There you go. They proved it by eliminating variables.
The equator. This is in Ecuador. Anybody can go down there. They drew a line on the concrete right there behind the person.
Hey, Viz.
This is the equator. They're going to pour water in the sink and let it drain on the equator.
This is dumb.
Now watch.
Especially because you're being taken for a fool here. You are being conned. This guy is going to trick you.
Now look at the lips. Choose straight down.
Straight down.
Straight down. Now, notice this. Let me back that up for a second. Notice that when he walks up, the water's already been sitting. You don't see him pour the water in.
They're going to pour water in the sink.
They already
and
poured
let
the
it
water
drain
in, Kent.
On the equator.
Okay?
Now watch.
So it's been sitting.
And as far away as they are from the sink that's right on the equator, you're not going to get any change in rotation because it's not a controlled experiment.
Straight.
Yeah, he's a young Earth creationist. He is just as dumb.
Down.
Straight down.
Okay.
Okay? Now let's pick up the sink.
Now that's on the equator line.
Go south of the equator. 15 feet.
Oh, Ken, look at that look you're giving them people in the room.
Kind of like, ooh, child, we got him now.
Plug the sink, fill it with water, let it stabilize a minute.
Let's stabilize a minute. Didn't look like he let it stabilize too long.
See, and he forced it in this way. He moved from the center to the side, which gave it rotation this direction.
Pull the plug, drop some leaves in. Why does it swirl south of the equator and not swirl on the equator?
Here's what.
Because on the equator you wouldn't have any change in rotational velocity with the direction, and here they just put the water in, forcing the water to swirl as he filled it, dipshit.
Where I'm going to use one of my favorite Kent Hovindisms. Kent, I may have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. Okay, well here's where I'm going to give it away. Ready, gang? Because he poured the water and he shifted the bucket to create a current, a clockwise current there, mister.
Right, but what happens when you don't do that, dumb fuck? What happens if you let the water sit for a day and it's motionless until you pull the plug out? What about then, asshole?
Hovind?
Called the Coriolis effect.
No, it's not. It's called being duped, dummy. Let's go back. Now, as he pours in, he's going to finish this off. The bucket's going to shift this way, creating this current right here. Check it out.
Plug the sink, fill it with water,
Shift.
let it stabilize a minute.
Created this kind of current. You can see the bubbles already moving that way.
Pull the plug, drop some leaves in.
I mean, you got to be an idiot to fall for this, Kent. Helped it with a little clockwise twist of the hand.
What?
You fell for the flat Earth. Shut the fuck up, idiot.
Why does it swirl south of the equator and not swirl on the
Like
equator?
I said, because you're a dummy.
Called the Coriolis effect.
No, it's called dum-dum
because
effect.
the Earth is spinning. Now let's take it
Moron,
north
the Earth
of the
is
equator,
flat
15 feet
and
away
it's
from
not
the equator.
moving. No motion to the Earth.
Then how do gyroscopes on airplanes precess? How do they do that if they're not being moved out of 3D space, out of their orientation in 3D space? That's the only way it's the only way a gyroscope can precess is if it is taken out of its position in 3D space. So how does it work on a flat Earth? See, a plane's flying flat and level on a flat Earth. It's not being done like this or like this. It's always flat and level, so why does it precess? And why will it precess at 15 degrees per hour? Why does it do that, PEA BRAIN?
You can Google, I forget the name of this thing, but just Google, does water swirl north or south of the equator? It comes up, there's a bunch of video clips of this kind of stuff.
And to use another Kent Hovinism, Kent, are you this dumb or are you being dumb on purpose?
Okay, we're going to...
Okay, he's filling the bucket again. And watch him shift the bucket to his right, and that's going to make the water current go counterclockwise.
Yeah, we know this is a scam, man. We know this is fake.
Sink with water.
Filling it. Now it's the shift to the right. You see that? Before he shifted to the left, now he's shifting to the right, and he's creating a counterclockwise rotation or current.
It's going to swirl the other direction. I promise you.
Yeah, no kidding. No joke, Mr. Hovind. And here's another Kent Hovinism. Duh. Kent, he created the counterclockwise rotation with the way he poured the water in.
Yeah, we get that, but that doesn't debunk Foucault's pendulum, moron.
Kent.
And it doesn't debunk the spinning Earth, moron. This proves it, moron.
Pull the plug, up in the leaves, and it swirls counterclockwise north of the equator.
Anyways, so there's your trick.
Can you not see that?
All fake. If it's real, why do you got to fake everything? Why is everything fake?
We don't fake everything. Those guys did because they're fucking scamming tourists. That's why they did it. Why are you doing it? Why are you lying?
And this,
Let's see, why you're lying. Oh, yeah. Patreon, T-shirts, PayPal. Yeah, that's why you're lying.
Foucault pendulum, just as a side, maybe they hook it to a 24-hour clock. They have like a military clock, 24 hours in the ceiling, and all you see is the little peg. And you would never even notice it turning because it's turning one time in 24 hours.
Was that why? Is that what you think? So you haven't researched the Foucault pendulum at all, but you think you can debunk it. Oh, that's adorable.
So they hook the pendulum to that, and that gives you your 24-hour rotation that looks like. It's fake. Guaranteed. It's fake.
So he hasn't even bothered to research anything about the Foucault's pendulum. And this is from January, man. This isn't from like 2016, man. This is from January of 2026. Where was it? 4 months ago. I mean, dude, that's sad, dude. January 11th, 2026. So you haven't bothered to fucking even research it at all. Holy crap. You're dumb as fuck, man.
Because if that were real, the catch-22 is, and why this is a twofer video, is the catch-22 is, if it is real, well then the drone's got to move to the equator.
No, man, it's two separate things. It's different types of physics. It's different physics that are at play. What the fuck are you talking about, you loser? You fucking lazy-ass researcher loser.
And leave where you have it hovering
Didn't even
over.
fucking
That's going
bother.
to eventually turn out from under it. We don't witness this. Doesn't happen. So, there you go.
Let's see. Debunk it. Totally different physics. Different physics. That you don't understand. Hilarious. Fucking hilarious. There you go. There you go. There you go. I'm dumb. And he has that northern pseudo almost fucking New England accent. Minnesota accent. You know, he doesn't have as much an accent to make him sound quaint. It just sounds annoying. Hey, Hackerman.
I will show you redneck fixes. How many have seen those things? Honey, I fixed it. Have you seen that? I'll show you some. The answers they give are redneck answers.
It's going to show the same exact thing, man. I mean, isn't this like against YouTube's terms of service to just repeat content? Isn't it like a violation of terms of service? I think it is. Overly repetitive content. This is Creaky Blinder gets busted for breaking Newton's first law of motion. Okay. This ought to be interesting.
Recently, I put out a killer spinning ball earth debunk video called Double Debunk, Debunking the Fake Foucault Pendulum.
No, you didn't debunk anything.
And the fake spinning ball earth in one video. In the video, I make the case that the Foucault pendulum has to be a trick. If the Foucault pendulum were real, they're showing that the ground would, in fact, have to rotate out from under the free-moving pendulum.
Right, that's what it does. As the Earth rotates, it does this. And since the Earth's rotating, each time it goes this direction, it's going to hit a pin that's coming toward it. See, you're debunking yourself here, buddy.
2 separate reference frames, right? I'm saying if that is in fact real, then a drone hovering at 45 degrees north latitude over the left turning ground at say 500 miles per hour would also have to witness the ground turn.
See, that's not 500 miles an hour, pal. That's thousands and thousands of miles an hour. We could calculate it.
Out from under it. Also 2 separate reference frames. And we'd have to see the drone move away at an exponential rate to the southeast as the turning ground moves more and more to the north. So
that's about 12 seconds to make a quarter of a turn. So that would be 48 seconds for a full rotation of the Earth. Let's say 50 seconds. All right, let's slow it down, right? Just slow it down to make it a minute. So that's it's showing a full rotation in a minute. So you think that's 500 miles an hour? You think that's 500 miles an hour?
Do not observe.
Let's see, there's 3,600 minutes in an hour, right? Echo, how many minutes in an hour?
There are 60 minutes in an hour.
Or 60 minutes in an hour. Okay, thank you.
You got it.
So 60 minutes in an hour. And then you multiply that times 24. That's how many? Yeah. So that's spinning way faster.
In realityville, yet we must observe that.
Someone help, I'm stoned. I can't do math right now.
And I concluded that the spinning ball Earth must be fake, and so is the Foucault pendulum. A twofer. So this guy Creaky Blinder did a reaction video to my video.
No, that's Creaky Blinder.
Here's his thumbnail.
It's not Creaky Blender. Can you not fucking read?
His video is titled, "This Has to Be the Dumbest Flat Earth Argument Ever." Okay? And when I'm done with this video, we'll see who the dummy is there, Creaky. It's Creaky Blinder.
Oh, we know who the dummy is.
So when I play the clip of Creaky teaching us about Newton's first law, remember that I said this. Moving east on, say, 45 degrees north latitude, relative to the surface of the ball Earth, is a turn to the left. Okay, that's you moving east on 45 degrees north latitude. Or just by standing still on the east rotating fake ball Earth is also a turn. Kind of like if you're standing on a merry-go-round. The merry-go-round's turning, you could just be standing still and you're doing a circle, right? There's a centripetal force, the merry-go-round. You're standing on that centripetal force. Or you can have the merry-go-round not moving and you can walk around or run around or drive around that circular merry-go-round, and you also have the same force if you're doing the same speed. Whether the merry-go-round's moving or you're moving on the circular path, same thing applies. It's a centripetal force involved.
Can you not see that?
So all latitudes except for the equator are a turn. You turn to the left in the northern hemisphere and to the right in the southern. The only latitude you go straight on is the equator. So keep that in mind when you hear Creaky give us his version of Newton's first law of motion. All right, here we go. My argument is that all water, air, everything, and especially like a hovering drone at, say, 45 degrees north latitude, will in fact move to the equator. It'll move in a straight line because although it's circling at 500 miles per hour, it's turning at 500 miles per hour. Once it lifts off the ground, Newton's first law of motion takes over and it's going to shoot off in a straight line because it no longer has the centripetal force. It's no longer in contact with the ground, which was forcing it to turn as it sat on the ground. Now it's up, retaining that same momentum, 500 miles per hour circling momentum, circling to the left that it had while it was sitting on the ground. Now it's up and moves off in a straight line.
Can you not see that?
As per Newton's first law of motion, an object in motion will tend to stay in motion at a constant speed and in a straight
Yes, we know how dumb you are. Get to it.
line. And it shoots off in a straight line and it'll head to the equator.
Let me think about that for a second. Didn't need it. The drone's already moving east at 500 plus miles per hour because it was sat on the ground. And when it lifts off, Newton's law says that it will keep moving east at 500 plus. Will keep moving east at 500 plus miles.
Yes, and put that with friction of the air moving with the Earth. It will keep moving the same direction. Yes, you don't understand shit, man.
Per hour. And when it lifts off, Newton's law says that it will keep moving east at 500 plus miles per hour.
Now, if it goes for 500 miles, it'll probably veer off course. Yes, the drone is susceptible to the centrifugal force or the Coriolis effect. It's subject to that, but you won't see it right away, dipshit. It'll take a while. You think the Earth is moving that fucking fast? It's not.
Moving east at 500, moving east at 500. And when it lifts off, Newton's law
Fucking
says
moron.
that it will keep moving east at 500 plus miles per hour.
No, Creaky, Newton's law does not say it's going to keep moving east at 500 miles per hour. So you're saying that Newton says an object in motion will tend to stay in motion at a constant speed and in a turn. No. That's not what it says.
Yes, the air drags the drone, so it follows the small circle. Exactly. But he doesn't fucking understand shit. He does not understand the physics of it.
It says an object in motion will tend to stay in motion at a constant speed and in a straight line. Creaky, so I have a question for you. Do you understand that Newton's law says that things stay in a straight line? I'm assuming you know that. So then you think that 45 degrees north is a straight line, that you traverse that straight, you don't turn your wheel left or right relative to the...
And actually, it's not in motion. The drone isn't in motion, motherfucker, because it's still within the reference frame of the Earth. It's still in the air. It's not going to move. It's not moving. Newton's first law doesn't apply, moron.
The surface of the ground? Is that what you're saying? And I've clearly showed you that they're all a turn. All latitudes are a turn except for the equator. All latitudes you have to turn to the left in the northern hemisphere. So I'm just curious, because you've just debunked the ball, because you're invoking Newton's law that says that once the object loses touch with the centripetal force, it's going to want to go straight. And you...
No, that's not what Newton's first law says. It's not what it says, man. There are other physics besides that at play. He's trying to use this to debunk the spinning Earth, but it doesn't. It just doesn't.
You think, though, that straight is a curve or a turn. No, it's not a turn. It goes straight, and straight takes it on a great circle, because once it lifts off the ground, it loses friction, still has the momentum, and now gravity takes over. Gravity causes things.
What do you mean gravity takes over? It always took over. It never stopped taking over. Are you... Jesus fucking Christ, you're dumb.
Things to move in a straight line, you know, like orbits. So, yeah, I'm just curious. Are you going to correct this? Are you going to admit you got Newton's law wrong? And if you did, well then, you're just admitting that the drone would take off in a straight line. I think...
This is Flatzoid Live, TFE, Will Duffy's Flat Earth Killer, Logical Fallacy, Neil deGrasse Tyson debunks Duffy. Okay, that's a hell of a title.
That stuff is flat.
So tell me what else Neil deGrasse Tyson says. What are all the other things he says? Huh? What are all the other things he says? So if you opened up a bag of white rice and there was a grain of black rice in it, would that make the entire bag black rice? Because you found one thing that didn't fit? Neil deGrasse Tyson says one thing that you don't understand, so you automatically think he says the earth is flat, ignoring all the other times that he says the earth isn't flat, right?
Okay, I watched this video the other day. It was a Flatzoid live stream, and I saw that Will Duffy was on there. So I was like, oh, I gotta check that out. What are they talking about? So Will Duffy is loaded for bear.
Just talking dumb shit.
He thinks he's got a flat earth killer argument. Okay, so he comes on the show and he lays out this challenge. He wants to drop the hammer, but he's got to do the setup. So the setup is, hey guys, show me where the South Pole is on your flat earth. Okay, so
yeah, it's a good question because people have been to the South Pole. People who have been to the South Pole can look straight up on 90 degrees up and see the central rotational point of the stars. Where is that on a flat earth?
First of all, he's committing a logical fallacy. He's asking them for a place that doesn't exist on a flat earth.
Right, that's exactly why he asked, dumb fuck. That's exactly why he asked.
He's asking them where it is. Okay, and they do.
But how come you have to go to a specific place in Antarctica to be at the South Pole? Why is that? Why can't you go to any place on the ice wall and see the south rotation, the central rotation of the southern stars? Why do you have to go to a specific spot?
Do a lot of events.
And where is that spot on your disk Earth? In your ice wall?
Evasive thing. The whole show, it's like 40 minutes, is them evading, because they're kind of put on the spot, maybe, I don't know. And
put on the spot? They've had 10 fucking years to come up with the spot. They've had 10 years. This shit's been going on for a fucking decade, man. When are you going to get some evidence? When are you going to fucking know anything? Oh, what's the sun? Oh, I don't even know what the sun is. After 10 fucking years?
Later on the show, I saw where they said, like, hey, that place doesn't exist. Yeah, the problem is he's asking them for a place on the flat earth that's not real, right? That's number one, but that's his setup.
Right, that tells you that the earth isn't real. The flat earth isn't real because there's that actual place in reality that people go to. It's a real place, but you say it doesn't exist on a flat earth. So you're admitting that the flat earth isn't real.
So he wants them to point somewhere on the ice wall.
Yeah, just go south. Where's south? Oh, where it is? That's where it is.
He's showing a picture of the Gleason map. And so he's like, show me where the South Pole is, the ceremonial South Pole, whatever. So they won't show. They won't.
You know where it is? It's here. And it's here. And it's here. And it's here. And it's here. See, this person right here can stand at this spot, this exact spot, and they can see the south rotational stars. They can see where they spin in the center. And then if he goes here, he could see the fucking same thing, man. How is that fucking possible? How is that fucking possible for someone standing here looking straight up to see the exact same thing a person that's standing here or here is seeing? How is that fucking possible? Please explain. And how can a person stand here and walk south and wind up over here? How is that fucking possible?
Say, they just keep saying it's south of north. But he needs this. He wants him to say where. So he
See, I can go from here to here and wind up here and here and here and here and here. See, I can walk south anywhere on this ice wall, and I wind up everywhere. Simultaneously. If I step to this line and I stand on this line, I will be everywhere on this disc simultaneously. There will be an infinite number of me on a flat Earth.
He can trap them. Okay, so they won't answer. I don't know if he said it on this show, but I saw another show. He was on this Christian show or something. Here's what he was.
I will be in an infinite number of places simultaneously. Please explain that.
Trying to drop. This is the hammer he was trying to drop. So once they point to a place on the, South Pole or around this ice wall, he can say 3 people from the 3 different continents, Australia, South America, and Africa, being that if they're at about the same latitude, can all get to the South Pole in the same period of time on a ball.
Right. They can all look due south. No, they aren't looking this direction. No, this guy can look this direction. This guy can look this direction. And this guy can look this direction. And they can travel this direction and wind up in the exact same place. Someone in Tasmania can go due south and wind up here and here and here and here all at the same time.
Earth. And he's going to say this is what happens. They get there in the same period of time if 3 people travel. This debunks the flat Earth because you can see the flat Earth, these 3 continents, Australia, Africa, and South America, are widely distributed, far apart from one another, and would.
Right. So it's impossible. It's impossible. And this isn't the South Pole. This is the South Pole. It's the edge, motherfucker. It's the edge. It's the point here that's spread out because it's been distorted, you stupid fuck.
Take many hours more from each location to get there. So they couldn't get there in the same period of time. So he's basically saying.
But no, you don't go north to get to the South Pole from South America, you stupid fucker. You go south. You go south, which is this direction. Not this direction. See, you're lying here, man. You're fucking lying.
This debunks the flat Earth, and he's all charged up to say this, all right? So that's his argument, and it's destroyed like this. First of all, why are you asking us for a place that's not real on our flat Earth? And number 2, that's not true what you're saying, that they can get there in the same period of time. No, they cannot.
Yeah, they can. It's proven. It's proven. What are these different places? So we got Brazil. Let's see. Flight times. See, Expedia. Geez, I don't even know. I have to look it up. South America. To Antarctica. Probably won't give me anything because it's not like a regular airport. Nope. Couldn't find anything.
That's his argument, and it's destroyed like this. First of all, why are you asking us for a place that's not real on our flat Earth?
That's why. That's why.
And number two, that's not true what you're saying, that they can get there in the same period of time. No, they cannot. And the kicker is Neil deGrasse Tyson is going to back this up. He's actually going to debunk the ball Earth. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Stay tuned. It's coming up. I'm going to show you. Awesome. All right. So let's get going, and let me give you a little bit.
He's really dumb as shit, isn't he?
On the logical fallacy.
Dishonest as fuck.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so if I want to go to the South Pole, how do I get there on a flat Earth?
What kind of logical fallacy did he just commit?
Okay, so if I want to go to the South Pole, how do...
There would have to be a South Pole on the flat Earth because there's a South Pole in fucking reality, motherfucker. So, what logical fallacy did he commit?
How do I get there on a flat Earth?
Okay, he just asked flat earthers how to get to the South Pole. South Pole is a place that doesn't exist on flat Earth. So I looked this up and I found this. A complex question or a fallacy of presupposition occurs when a question contains a presupposition that is not necessarily true and may not be agreed upon by the respondent.
Okay, so if I want to go to the South Pole, how do I get...
He doesn't get it, does he? He doesn't fucking get it. If you're saying that the flat Earth, or that the South Pole doesn't exist on the flat Earth, you're saying the flat Earth doesn't exist, because the South Pole definitely fucking does. It's a physical location on the Earth. What a dumb fuck you are.
Get there on a flat Earth?
Well, there is no South Pole on a flat Earth. That's stupid. There's only the North Pole. So he's trying to be tricky, but he's setting up, this isn't the lie so much. Although that's a logical fallacy, that's not the lie so much. It is a lie, but the big lie that he's trying to trap them on is he wants them to point on the flat Earth map to a place where the pole is, so then he can show the three continents, Australia, Africa, and South America, are widely in different places, widely spread apart, right? So that there's no way they can get there.
See, a better question would be, how can a person right here, standing right here, look south and see a rotational field of stars that centers on their direct line of sight? And a person can stand here and see the exact same thing looking in an opposite direction, in a completely different direction. This person is looking this direction, and he can see the exact same thing this person sees looking in this direction. How does that fucking work, man? How does that fucking work on a flat Earth? You know how it works? Well, imagine this is the South Pole, and this person is standing here looking south, and this person's standing here looking south, and this person's looking south, and they're all seeing the exact same fucking thing. That's the only way it works, is if the Earth is a sphere, you fuckwit.
In even close to the same amount of time from those locations. Yet, he's going to say they can get there in about the same amount of time. He says about. That's the fudge room, right? Because no, you cannot. This is just talk. You cannot get there in the same amount of time. But on a ball, you would get there in the same exact time. As long as you start at the same latitude line.
Yeah, Flatzoid debunked it by showing that the sun rose in the west, 270 degrees is what he showed, because he didn't know how to use a fucking compass.
Head south on a longitude line. All longitude lines intersect.
And then he said it rose 180 degrees south, which is fucking impossible.
They all intersect the North Pole, and they would all intersect.
And then he says a cast iron chair is plastic or concrete. He said it was concrete. Even with his lie, he didn't fucking realize that when you make concrete furniture, you have to reinforce it with steel. He's just dumb as fuck.
The South Pole on a ball. Just head south and you would get there in the exact same time as long as you leave from the same latitude. But that's not even possible. And as I'll show you what Neil deGrasse says.
So you spin, when you spin pizza dough, it kind of flattens out. Yeah. Gets wider in the middle. And so Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning. And it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that,
Okay, now pay attention, because here's where he debunks the ball and he makes allowances and he acknowledges the farther distances that we have on our flat Earth map, our flat Earth model, past the equator. When you
He isn't talking about this. He's talking about a spinning globe Earth, you dumb fuck.
go south of the equator,
You think he's talking anything about this? Is that what you think he's doing right now?
on a ball, everything pinches in and starts to pinch in again or converge into the South Pole. He's admitting the flat.
Yes, because this matches reality. This doesn't, pal. This matches what we know of reality. This contradicts it.
Earth map, which continues to spread out. That's why he's saying the Earth is pear-shaped, because we know the distances south of.
No, he says it's pear-shaped because it seems to spread out a little. It seems to bulge a little more south of the equator than it does north of the equator, because there's more water south of the equator. That's what he's saying, and it's a little flattened out, but it's imperceptibly flattened out. It's a difference of about 20 kilometers, dude. Very imperceptibly flattened out. If you see a photo of the Earth from space, you can't tell. Until you like measure the pixels, then it's like 1 pixel off. You're a fucking idiot. You think he meant like a Bartlett pair? Like this? Bartlett pair. You think he was talking about that? About this shit? You think that's what he meant when he said pear-shaped? Is that what you think, you dumb fuck? No, what he was talking about is more like Chinese pear. More like this, asshole. More like this. See, this is more of the pear he was talking about, you stupid fuck.
Of the equator are bigger than they are north of the equator, and they continue to get bigger because we know the distances south of the equator are bigger than they are north of the equator, and they continue.
No, they aren't, asshole. They aren't. Why do you think on a fucking sectional map south of the equator, all these lines angle in like this and not like this? Why do you think that?
To get bigger. This is an admission right here that debunks the ball. Okay? Pay attention. Here he goes.
It's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
So, it turns out...
Turns out you don't understand what he's fucking saying, motherfucker. You're an idiot, man. You're a complete fucking idiot.
He says that the longitude lines actually spread out. They keep spreading out.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't fucking say that, you ignorant asshole.
Get wider. Remember, the Earth is pear-shaped. It's heavier.
No, it's a little wider on the bottom than the top, but he doesn't say it keeps going out. It's not at all what he said, you fucking liar.
Wider on the bottom. That means south of the equator, they're still spreading out. That's the flat Earth map that he's making an allowance for.
Wow.
He's allowing for the flat Earth map. The distances are greater.
Man, this is fucking I'm embarrassed for you, dude. I'm fucking embarrassed for you.
Once you get south of the
This
equator.
is sad.
They don't start to pinch back in and converge down to the South Pole as they would on a ball. They keep spreading out as they do in our flat Earth reality. Like this image right here. Okay, so let me get back to the logical fallacy.
Oh my God, what a dumb fuck.
This can artificially limit the possible responses and lead to misleading conclusions. For instance, asking who is the king of France assumes France currently has a king, which it doesn't, right? Both types of fallacies, the complex question or the fallacy of presupposition, can mislead the respondent and the audience into accepting assumptions that have not been proven or are not necessarily true. Like the old one, have you stopped beating your wife? If you say yes, then you've just admitted to beating your wife. It's built into the question. Or if you say no, then that means you're not beating your wife, but you used to do it. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a crude example, but that's an example that's been out there forever. So that's what that is, a fallacy of presupposition. All right, now where he lies is, so I'm going to go over this again real quick because frankly, this is the point in the live stream where Will Duffy was trying to trap them and they were floundering quite a bit.
Yeah, he tried to trap them and they fell right into the fucking trap.
I got to tell you, for it, and it's a live stream, you know, but so let me go over this again. What he wants you to do is show him where the pole is on your map. And then you put it somewhere, and let's say it's going to be nearer to one of the continents, the 3 continents that goes closest to the ice wall, right? You have Australia, Africa, South America. Okay, now where he lied is he says, well, but people can get there in about the same time.
People travel to the South Pole from 3 different continents, all at a very similar amount of time. People travel to the South Pole from 3 different continents, all at a very similar amount of time, all at a very similar amount of time, all at a very similar amount of time, not possible on a flat earth. That's again why I have this challenge, which no flat earther can answer. I went on a show today of a flat earther called Flatzoid, challenging his entire panel to show me where that ceremonial South Pole is on this map, and none of them could do it. CK can't do it. Adam Griffin can't do it. So the South Pole is a flat earth killer.
So from the same distance away on those continents, they can get to, even though these are thousands of miles apart, and he's lying because you cannot. But he said it with no proof. He can't prove this. Well, go ahead and try and prove it then. But it's going to be the same thing. You got to take the word of these people that they get to go with them to do this. It's all nonsense. And why is there a ceremonial pole? Why don't you get a real pole? All you got to do on your ball earth is follow the longitude lines down from anywhere.
Right, there's actually 3 poles, or maybe 4, I'm not sure, but I know there's definitely 3. There's a geographic South Pole, where if you stand there and you look straight up, the stars will rotate around your the center of your vision. Excuse me. And then there's the ceremonial South Pole, where people go to get their picture taken. And then there's the magnetic South Pole, which is not far off. That's why we have magnetic declination. There's at least 3 South Poles.
Right? You can follow the longitudes and they intersect. If you go north, they intersect at the North Pole. If you go south, they intersect at what would be the South Pole.
Right, that's reality. That's reality. Why do you think these lines are measured off in degrees of a fucking circle, asshole? Why?
Just do that. You guys,
if they aren't meant to join up at the poles, why are these numbers measured off in degrees? We don't measure straight. See, these are straight lines. Why are these straight lines measured off in degrees?
And put your ceremonial pole there. Why is it a ceremonial pole? Put the real South Pole there. Because they know they can't follow the longitude lines down because the longitude lines all diverge out from the North Pole on our...
But yet when you look south from anywhere here, you're going to see the exact same thing as everyone else who's looking south. How do you not get this, motherfucker? See, the only way it works is if everyone is looking south, looking the same direction. See how these arrows are pointing in the same direction? Fuck me.
Our flat Earth. And they keep spreading out all the way to the Antarctic ice wall. So when they get to the equator on a ball Earth, they would start to converge back to the South Pole. But in the flat Earth, they keep spreading out. As per Neil deGrasse, they cannot.
Right. They don't keep spreading out, dumb fuck. They don't. They just don't. I mean, goddamn, you're dumb. I mean, you're arguing with reality, man.
Follow the longitude lines.
The South Pole is a real place where people can go. We have a fucking scientific installation there right the fuck now. What is the name of the camp on the South Pole? Is it Amundsen? the Edmondson Scott South Pole Station, you dumb motherfucker. It's right the fuck here. It's right here. That's where it is. Right the fuck there. Because Antarctica is a goddamn fucking continent, you dumb fuck. The Edmondson Station is right here. I don't know why it didn't give me a fucking dot. Yeah, right here. Edmondson South Station. It's right the fuck there.
Down, because there is no South Pole. The subtle lie is when he says they can get there in all...
Did I say Edmondson? Did I say Edmondson? I can't pronounce it. Amundsen.
Almost the same period of time.
I heard Bob pronounce it that way once, so I just figured it was right.
But a very similar amount of time.
Now I'm going to say something here to show you about Neil deGrasse Tyson. But anyway, him saying almost, there's the fudge room. Because almost, that means different things to different people. What does that mean? Neil deGrasse has for years, and this is damage control, Neil deGrasse Tyson has said that the Earth is not just oblate, which any rotating ball that's malleable would experience. And oblateness would be at the equator, it would bulge out. As you spin faster and faster, the bulge gets bigger. So this is what they say is happening in the Earth. But the damage control comes in because he says it's not just oblate, but it's pear-shaped. It's a little...
Yeah, that's what it means to be a little wider below the waist. It's pear-shaped, but not a Bartlett pear, you dumb fuck.
Wider on the bottom.
So Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning, and it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere, it's oblate, and officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
What?
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
Is this not an admission of the flat Earth map and the...
No, it's you proving you don't understand words, man. It's you not understanding shit and being so dishonest that you think this is what he meant.
Flat Earth, that longitude lines diverge out from the North Pole, right? They in 360 degrees, the longitude lines go out. So when you get to the equator on a flat Earth, the distance between the longitude lines continues to increase.
See, at most, these lines would be closer together. See, these lines would be closer together. It would be spaced differently because it would represent more of a pear shape. So you're fucking dumb, dude. You are absolutely fucking retarded.
Increase. It gets fatter. It gets bigger on the bottom.
Wow, that's you are dumb as fuck. So we've got 3 more videos. Do we need to watch the rest of this? 6 more minutes?
There is no bottom on the flat Earth, of course, but he knows there are increased distances in the south.
No, he doesn't know that. He knows the exact opposite because he's intelligent and you're not.
So he added that in as a little damage control, and he's saying that a rotating sphere with gravity located at the center.
I mean, he said slightly. He said slightly bigger. You think that's a slightly? You think this means slightly bigger? So you think, you fucking dipshit?
And he's saying that a rotating sphere with gravity located at the center of mass would somehow distribute.
I mean, it holds true. Gotta lie to Flurf. He's just a fucking liar. PEA BRAIN's the same guy that mixed perspective and orthographic view to prove that the sun can set on a flat Earth. That's what this dumb motherfucker, this dishonest piece of shit did.
The mass, where the bottom...
That's where Flatzoid got his angles to Polaris chart. That's where he got it.
Even though a spinning ball relativity knows no top or bottom, but that it would spread out on the bottom. Why would he say that? That's not how a spinning ball works. It just bulges at the center, at its equator. Why? Because he knows flat Earth is true. He knows this.
No, dumb fuck. He knows it's not true.
This map is accurate and that these distances are greater in the south because the longitude lines are spread out like a starburst, like a sunburst, right? In the ball Earth model, when the longitude lines get to the equator, so they splayed out or diverged out from the North Pole, and when they get to the equator, they will then converge back down to the South Pole. But Neil deGrasse is admitting that's not what we see.
No, he's not admitting that, dipshit. You're interpreting what he said. You're misinterpreting what he said because you're dumb. You're absolutely fucking retarded. You don't understand what he's talking about. You're so convinced that the Earth is flat despite all the fucking evidence. You deny there's a South Pole. A place where we have a fucking research station right the fuck now. If you call these people, in a month or two, when it's dark, and you ask them to look straight up, call them. Say, look straight up when it's pitch black, and tell me what you see. Tell them to set their phone down and do a fucking time lapse and see what you fucking see. You're gonna see concentric circles centered on the direct center of that eyesight. You stupid fuck.
What we see is they spread out still.
All right, enough of this shit. He just keeps repeating himself over and over and over and over again. So this is real or fake? Reveal, discover. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to spell. Yes, absolutely. Deliberate misinterpretation. They have to lie they have to lie. Gotta lie to flirt.
Hey everybody. So this is the reveal. I'm going to show the reveal on this, and as you know, I've been doing videos on anti-flat earth channels that every time they try to say, oh, these flat earthers don't believe images from space, they're science deniers. And every time they put up a video or an image, it's fake. It has copy and paste.
No.
Clouds.
No.
And other just flat out fakery.
No.
That's ironic. And not just anti-flat earth channels, but anti-flat earth Christian channels as well. I busted many, 4, 5 or 6 channels. You know, supposedly we've been in space for 70 years. And so there's satellites all over the place.
Yeah.
Snap a picture of the Earth.
They do. Himawari 8 and Himawari 9 snap pictures of the Earth every 10 minutes. So what's your point?
Shoot a video. What?
The astronauts on board the ISS shoot video all the fucking time. You don't believe that?
Does it have to be all this, nonsense about we got to take many pictures?
See, we present you photographs from space and you deny them. So what the fuck are you asking for, asshole?
We got to layer them, and all the different light spectrums need to be added together, and we have to take the data and la 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 la. It's nonsense. Snap a picture. Just show us. Shoot a video of the Earth.
They have. This is a photograph, motherfucker. I believe this is the Blue Marble. Shot on film, you dumb motherfucker. In one shot. One exposure. Not layered. Not a panoramic. not comprised of strips, not photoshopped, not touched up. This is a fucking photograph of the Earth from space, shot in 1972, long before Photoshop was ever a fucking thing. And if you think it's easy to retouch color negatives, you're full of shit.
They can't do it. You know, we can shoot pictures of the moon from Earth. That's 250,000 miles away. I know they say...
Yeah, and we've shot pictures of the Earth from space, you fucking liar. You pathetic fuck.
This is 1,000,000 miles away where they shot this picture of Earth. But we shoot pictures of the moon. Clear as day. We can zoom in. They're shooting through space, through the void. They still only have to go through the one atmosphere of the Earth. Come on. Because they're not up there. They're not in space. They're in no space. You can't get a full shot of the Earth. That's why. Put up a real picture. You don't understand, people. The Earth.
So he doesn't think a panoramic is an actual image. It isn't an actual picture. So take a panoramic picture of your neighborhood. Is your neighborhood real? Is that a real picture of your neighborhood? It fucking is.
Earth is very shy. You can't just take a picture of it. It's always putting its hand in its face, people.
So I went right to the NASA website.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
what a dishonest dumb fuck.
Picture or this image was produced in 2015. Is it real or fake? Okay, so...
Oh, is this 2015? Okay.
I got some anti-flat earthers to weigh in, and here's Flat Earth.
Oh, he chose the one where someone put sex in there. He chose the one where someone photoshopped the word sex in clouds. What a dishonest piece of shit.
Math. He says to my question, is it real or fake? But to answer your question, yes, it's a real image taken by combining 3 black and white ones. Very similar to how Technicolor worked, which was actually shot on high-quality black and white film. Blah, blah, blah. All right. So I said, okay, got one. Flat Earth Math thinks it's an actual photo of Earth. Now let's go to the next one. 1986 BBG. Yes, this is a digital image, not a picture, as you keep saying.
You think a digital image isn't a picture? Is that what he's saying? Is that what this dumb motherfucker's saying? Digital images are pictures, stupid.
Wait. Yeah.
If it's shot with a camera, it's a picture. And fuck, professional photographers don't even use the word picture. They use photograph or image.
Yes, it's a digital image.
A picture is something you paint with a paintbrush on a canvas.
Image, not a picture, as you keep saying, makes zero difference if it's one image or a certain bandwidth or 10 of them stacked. Again, take a picture. What is this nonsense? We could shoot the moon all day. It's 250,000 miles away. What's the difference of 1,000,000 miles?
So he doesn't have a clue about photography, just like he didn't have a clue about the Foucault pendulum, but yet he thinks he can debunk both.
They supposedly shot a picture.
He doesn't know shit about photography, but he thinks he can hold a conversation about photography.
Of the Earth from the moon, remember? From 250,000 miles away. Shoot the dang Earth. Okay, so he's saying it's legit. Let's go to the next clown.
So we can shoot the moon from Earth because we're on the Earth, 240,000 miles away, and the moon is smaller than the Earth. But yet you think that we can photograph the Earth by being a tenth of the distance away from Earth as the moon is, when the Earth is bigger than the moon. You think that's possible?
Ruhif commented, real. All right, Ruhif, way to go. Okay, and then where's Wally replies to Ruhif and says, very real. Okay, so those are a few ballers. We got anti-flat earthers saying that they believe it's real.
Hey, Westside.
Okay, here's a little heads up to parents. You may want to
It's like 50 yards? Okay. Yeah, I thought it was real close.
preview this section here where I start to do the reveal. I just want you to have a heads up before, if you have any kids in the room, you don't want to have to explain anything, that you're not ready to explain. Go ahead and do that. All right. And here we go. Okay, I'm going to start the reveal. 3, 2.
Sex. I bet it's going to say sex because some dishonest flat earther or some dishonest piece of shit photoshopped the word sex into it using clouds as a brush. That's what happened there, buddy.
1, go. They have the image kind of upside down. It's a 3-letter word. Let's go. Now you can see it. Okay, this is fake. You know, I talked to somebody.
Yes, that's fake. That was photoshopped on there. That's not naturally occurring, you ignorant fuckwit.
They said on another platform, I raised this issue, and they were saying that, oh, but you know, when we were kids, we saw, you know, faces in the clouds, and we see animals in the clouds. And I said, yep, true. I do see faces and animals in clouds, no doubt about it. But seeing a 3-letter.
See, there's the same people that think that there's an actual picture of Pluto, the Disney character, on the planet Pluto. Because some dumb fuck photoshopped Pluto's face on the planet.
Word spelled out is something entirely different. That you do not see. That does not happen by accident. Okay? So here you have it.
No, it doesn't. Some dishonest piece of shit put it in there as a joke, and you fell for it. You're a dumb shit.
This is a signature of anime.
No, it's not like that on NASA's site. If you look at NASA's site, you will not see that, PEA BRAIN.
Something that they like to do. They've done it in all kinds of Disney
You
movies.
got this from fucking
Other movies. Goes
Facebook.
back to Charlie Brown too, way back, and I'm sure all kinds of cartoons. This is just something they do. They get their kicks doing stuff like this. And this has a precedent. It's not like this never happened. Here you have the Lion King spelling it out. Here's precedent right here from the.
Yeah, because some animator in The Lion King, who got fired for it, by the way, did that.
90s, The Lion King.
But this is a cartoon.
Maybe some of those Disney animators now work for NASA. I'm sure they hire people that can do 3D software, animators, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah? So does Hasbro. What's your point?
That would be interesting to see if the people who worked on The Lion King, although they learned their lesson and they wouldn't have done it, but somebody else did, and here it is. Same thing. Fake.
You know, I can hire an animator to create an intro for my channel. Does that make me fake? You're a stupid fuck, PEA BRAIN.
This is fake. This is on NASA's website. And I know a lot of flat earthers know this. I appreciate the comments, you know. And even though they put the comments, the ball earthers still said it's real.
No, we don't say that this is real. We say that this is fucking done by somebody. This is not from NASA's site. This hasn't added to it, you stupid fucker. We don't say that. You fell for this shit. Well, we don't say it.
Really? This is the same as the Antarctic footage that I showed you with the words north, south, east, west.
Right, those were put in After Effects. After they filmed it, you stupid motherfucker. Those words don't exist in real life.
Dipping below the horizon, dipping behind the mountains. Why?
To let the person know where they are in the circle. That's why they put it there. Kind of like if they would put a sign there that said north, except this is a better way to do it because it's bigger and you could see it.
And this was part of the footage of all the fake footage we.
So you think this is fake because of these letters? Is that what you think? You think this is fake because of these letters that are on the screen?
Got of the 24-hour sun from Antarctica before they went and did this final experiment. All right.
Right. This was done years before TFE, and there have been time lapses before that. But you say they're all fake because you know for a fact that it's real and it debunks flat Earth. But you have to be in denial. You have to be in denial to be a successful cult member.
So they gave us fake then, and this is fake.
No, that's not fake. This is fake. The sex part's fake. This whole thing isn't. No, this is an actual thing from NASA's website that some dishonest fuck like you did.
They put this in there to show. They're showing that it's fake, but they don't care. They own the universities. They own the media. There seems to be a change now.
NASA owns the media and owns the universities? Are you serious? Fuck, this guy is ignorant. Gullible as fuck. He thinks this is actually on NASA's website because he got this from fucking Facebook.
Might be a change happening. That's why I have this audit NASA. Yeah, audit NASA. Don't just audit where.
Go ahead. They're all their expenses. Everything they do is up for open scrutiny. Their finances, their financial record, their expenditure records, their income records, it's all there, dude. You can look at it. You can see where all the money's going. What do you mean, audit NASA? They're audited every fucking year, dude.
Where the money goes, audit what they're doing, with the money and how they're spending their time, but also audit where the spacecraft is going, where the launch is going.
Well, they're going to the moon, into space, orbiting the moon, orbiting the Earth, to the outer reaches of the solar system and beyond. That's where they're going, Mars. They're going exactly where they're saying they're going, dumb fuck. Except the ones that blow up on the launching pad. Those don't go anywhere.
Scramble up some F-15 fighter pilots and some fighter planes and get on the track where the rocket's supposed to go and follow that thing. Report on it, shoot pictures of it, see where it actually goes.
We have footage of them from airplanes flying. So people have actually done that. Not on purpose, coincidentally, because that was a flight that took place during a launch. But why? To convince dipshits that won't believe that if they do it? See, if they did that and they showed you, what would you say? What would you say if they actually did that? Scrambled a bunch of F-15 fighters and followed the rocket and it didn't go into the ocean. What would you say then? Would you admit that, yeah, you're wrong and the Earth is a sphere and they do go into space? Is that what you do? Of course you wouldn't, because you're a dishonest piece of shit.
So audit the money, audit what they're doing, and audit where the rockets are going. Man, if President Trump and Elon Musk hear this, yeah, please do that while you're at it.
So Elon Musk owns a space agency. So you're going to trust Elon Musk? You're So you're going to trust what Elon Musk says about NASA when Elon Musk is basically like NASA, who does the same thing that NASA does. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're fucking saying? And Trump, who created Space Force, the Outer Space Force, is that what you think? Holy motherfucking shit, you're dumb. You're just dumb, man.
At it with all the other
Holy
auditing,
shit.
showing all the fraud in the world. That's happening right now. So, there we go.
Yes, that's a fraud. That right there is a fraud because some dishonest piece of shit like you made it a fraud.
Busted. It's not real. These images of Earth from space and all the other stuff is fake. You can't have gas pressure.
So you take something that someone tampered with and you use that as evidence that the original is fake.
Pressure, which is our atmosphere, 14.7 psi at sea level, without containment. That's a law of...
Right, we have gravity that does that. We don't need a physical containment, dipshit. Sort of like if you have one of those shock collars. Now you bury a wire in the perimeter of your property, and if that shock collar gets too close, it sets off a shock, and it basically electrocutes your pet. And it does, man. It's like a stun gun. It's basically like a taser. That's what they are, basically. They are a perimeter activated stun gun that you put on your pet. Because I was at a party it was a 4th of July party at my boss's house, and they had installed an invisible fence. So all the drunk guys thought we'd get together and borrow one of the collars and see how close we could get to the fucking get to the border without getting shocked. Word of advice, don't do that. It hurts. It hurts a lot. So yeah, we put them on our ankles and see who could get the closest without collapsing. It was like our little rite of passage into manhood. But yeah, so it's kind of like that. You know, if you have like an invisible fence, you don't need a fucking fence. You have a different force that keeps your pets inside. You fucking retard.
Pressure, you got to have a container. Or let's say you do have magically through gravity. Well, you can't have it next to a vacuum.
Why? Why? It's not next to a vacuum. It tapers off to a vacuum. You're just, after 10 years, you can't get this right?
You can't be this big old gas ball in amongst this vacuum because high pressure always goes to low pressure.
Unless it's acted on by a different force, like gravity. The gravity holds it in. God, you're fucking stupid.
It would be gone, right? It would fill the space. That's what gas pressure does. Also,
Why
you
hasn't
see
it?
too far.
Why hasn't it? Why hasn't your atmoplane filled the dome already? Said it would fill the space equally. Why hasn't it done that yet? You can't see the Canadian Mountains from here because they're almost a mile below the curvature of the Earth. Oh, so then you get the sun setting and it backlights them so you can see them better. Okay. But I think the important thing to look at is that the sun gets lower than this in the sky. On a flat Earth, the sun would never get lower than this in the sky. Anywhere on Earth, it'd never be dark at night. There wouldn't be a word. There wouldn't be a word such as nighttime or night. There wouldn't be a word like that. It wouldn't exist in our vocabulary if the Earth was flat. So, and this has been debunked also. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and that's the ship going into space. See how it's spread out? It's because there's no atmosphere holding it together. And it's making an orbital trajectory. It isn't going into the fucking ocean, asshole. It's going around the Earth.
Right? Tons of footage of that. There's all kind of fakery that we've exposed, harnesses and stuff on the ISS. All rockets curve downwards, as I've showed in a couple videos, and track the path.
Yeah, he grabs his pocket with his pinky finger. This has been debunked too.
They curve downwards.
See, what did he do right there? What did he do there, buddy? Think that's a fucking harness? Think that's a harness he grabbed? See, that's his fucking pocket, you lying sack of shit. See how he hooks into his pocket right there? And he pulls. See the pocket move? See that? Do you see that, dipshit? Do you see that? See how he's got his finger in his pocket? You fucking lying sack of shit.
The horizon, right? Like jet trails I showed in this video. But the rockets are curving downward.
No, they're not. They're curving around the Earth. It's an orbital trajectory, you stupid fuck.
That's not going to space. That's fake. And then there's my recent series on rotation. This absolutely kills the ball. We
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I just destroyed your videos.
cannot be living on a spinning ball because the ground separates out from the water and the air. Anything that's loose on a sphere, as I showed, and old Cricky disappeared, critical think, he said, what I thought was sincere, he said, I don't get it. You know, a small circle and a great circle, they're both circles. You traverse them straight, right? I don't get what you're saying, that the other latitude lines are a turn and only the equator is a straight line. Yes, they're all circles, but the equator is a great circle, and I go through this in my series of rotation videos, but that's the only latitude line, the equator, that you traverse straight.
See, PEA BRAIN here, spelled with an EA, knows that he's dumber than dog shit. So he needs to use any dishonest chance he gets to make himself think that he's smarter than other people.
Yes, ball earthers that are going to say, it's not straight, PEA BRAIN, it curves downward. I know, but a straight line on a sphere, if you draw...
All right, this is just a repeat of his other shit. What do we have next? Real or fake? NASA Discover. I think this might have been the one before the last one.
Okay, you know, if you've been following my channel recently, I've been showing fake pictures of Earth from space that so many people, ball earthers, anti-flat Earth channels, when they show a picture of the Earth, shows repeating clouds. It's just fakery. So all the ball earthers would say, oh, well, of course, everybody knows those are fake. Those aren't real. They're just images. Then all these satellites for 70 years we've been in space. You're telling me they haven't just taken pictures? We don't have pictures galore? Put up.
Let's see. Let's duplicate that. There we go. This is a time lapse. One day on Earth is seen from Japan's Himawari 8 satellite. There you go, buddy. There you go. You happy?
A real picture. You don't understand, PEA BRAIN. The Earth is very shy. You can't just take a picture of it. It's always putting its hand in its face, PEA BRAIN. So I went right to the NASA web.
Dude, how old are you?
Website. Okay, so this picture or this image was produced in 2015. Is it real or fake? All right, let's.
We already saw this. What the fuck? So he just duplicates all his shit, man. Come up with something original. Prove your flat Earth, PEA BRAIN. How about that? Do a series of videos proving that the Earth is flat. Not deconstructing the globe or proving that reality isn't real. No, prove your flat Earth. Prove that your flat Earth is possible.
Are you ready for the reveal? All right. It's really fun to bust these people or reveal, especially these arrogant ones like Sky Story. Oh my gosh. I love when they accuse us of not believing footage from space, and every time, and I'm putting a playlist together. It'll be under something clouds or real or fake something, but look for it, and it'll be all the ones that I busted with this cloud stuff, and they always do the same thing. I think Bob was one. I have to find it. It's embedded in some other video that I just mentioned it. Mr. Sensible. There's a couple Christian ball earthers that did the same thing, telling us how we don't believe stuff from space, and then they're showing fake footage. It's just too funny. And first, let me just say thanks everybody for all.
See, that's why you'll remain ignorant. That's why you'll be a dumbass all your life. Because we show you real shit and you call it fake. Just show me one thing. Well, here, this is that. Well, it's fake. How old are you?
All the great comments. Yes, the clouds don't change. That's a big tell. And Africa's way too big. Yep. So I appreciate all that. And if
Africa's way too big? Okay.
you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe.
It's way too big on a fucking flat earth. But, it's not way too big in reality.
And there are some links in the description.
It's Africa size.
If you want to support the channel. That's about it. I mean, I caught this guy. He's caught, and I'm documenting it right here. And the question is, if space is real, why do they keep giving us fake? We live in the era of cameras everywhere, right? We have digital cameras. We can take 1 million pictures.
Right. Why hasn't anyone ever taken a picture of the entire flat earth? Why is that?
They can film this stuff with the huge computers they have.
I mean, it should be very easy, right? Right?
Film the Earth. They should be shoving it down our throat nonstop. Time lapse of the Earth from space. But whenever we do get it, I can find fake clouds. Now, just
So, is this fake? Can you find fake clouds? Can you? You see any fake clouds?
just because they don't use fake clouds doesn't mean it's real. But, I don't know why they get sloppy. Now, this one was a little tougher to find the fakery, but it's in there because, you can layer, you can put clouds over stuff, and then you can start to change it. It'll look like it's morphing, whatever it is. But no, I definitely spotted the fakery. What's the conclusion? If they're faking it, it's obviously.
So if you're shooting a panoramic, right? You got to shoot a real wide panoramic. You're going to take a picture. Now you can do it with a video, and your phone will just make that into one image. But it used to be you had to take a picture and then take a picture and then take a picture and take a picture, right? That's how it used to be. I used to have to take panoramics of an area bigger than your lens could capture in one shot, right? If I'm using a 50 millimeter lens, it's only going to capture this much. But I've got all this over here to shoot too. So I have to shoot this, then I do a little overlap. I shoot that picture and I move a little more, and I keep going down the line. Now, what happens when a person's standing right here, right, and you're shooting this, and then as you're moving over, they stand over here? Oh, guess what? They're going to be in the picture again. And then if they move and you move over and they stand there before you get there, they're going to be in the picture again. See, that's why you get those duplicated clouds, because that's what happens, because the Earth is too close for the satellite to capture in one shot. So they shoot strips of photographs, and it's like a panoramic. It's this strip and then this strip and then this strip and then this strip. And guess what happens when you're shooting a thing that's moving? You're going to shoot this strip, and by the time it gets done getting down about here, that cloud's going to be over here. And then it shoots that strip, and guess what? The cloud's in the same fucking place, because it's just moved over a little bit.
Not real. Same as the Antarctic stuff. All these years, they could have been just millions of videos showing, like, the videos from the Arctic are plenty. You find a lot of those, but Antarctica, we only had a few, and the ones we saw were faked.
Oh, so all the ones that you saw are faked, but you want to see real ones, right? Oh, but those are fake too, right? All the ones from Antarctica are going to be fake, right? Because that's just how dishonest a piece of shit you are, right?
So, what can you conclude? It's obviously not real. The ball's not real. And then my past videos on rotation debunk.
Yeah, all the evidence that you present to me that I deny proves it.
Go ahead, review some of those. I'll put a couple in the end and links to them. Oh, I only got one ball believer to bite. I guess the rest of them are wise to it. This is 1986 BBG. I think he's an old-time guy who's been showing up on my channel and many Flat Earth channels, I'm sure. I think he was called Big Ball something. Now it's BBG, but I could be wrong. But anyway, he said, that time lapse is awesome. Not sure PEA BRAIN can actually debunk the video. Well, 1986 BBG, rest assured, I can debunk that video. That's it. So sit back and enjoy, and I'm going to show you what I found. All right, let's go.
The Flat Earth cult demonstrates that when persons choose ignorance, when they actually choose it, they will defend it with an amazing degree of determination and feel very self-righteous in doing so. This is evident in the Flat Earth cult in their blanket denial of any and all evidence that runs contrary to their Flat Earth worldview. I mean, there really is no debating whether or not the world is a globe, not least of which is because there are countless images of the Earth from space. There are countless images of the Earth from space. Though Flat Earthers will simply write off every single one of those images as CGI. I mean, there really is no debating whether or not the world is a globe, not least of which is because there are countless images of the Earth from space. Though Flat Earthers will simply write off every single one of those images as CGI. So when the astronauts went to the moon, they will not only say that the astronauts' trip was fake, but that imagery was also CGI. And of course, images shot of space by tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of astrophotographers all around the world, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of astrophotographers all around the world, that's just CGI. And even when some of their own went to Antarctica during the summer to prove that the sun would set, and it didn't, then they just wrote them off too. Because, you guessed it, CGI. Essentially, as far as Flat Earthers and Spaces Fakers are concerned, anything that doesn't fit their narrative, it's all smoke and mirrors and it's going to be dismissed.
Absolutely. It's absolutely. Everything that doesn't fit their narrative can be easily dismissed because they're dishonest losers.
So it's a little blurry because I couldn't film in high resolution. My computer wouldn't handle it. But I tried to take some snapshots with the higher resolution. And there you go. Copy and pasted cloud. So this video is fake.
That's not copy and pasted. If you overlay these two clouds, they're not going to be exactly alike. It's not copy and pasted. This one's looks different from this one because they scanned the fucking image. See, this one was scanned probably top to bottom, and then when they got past it, the Earth's still moving, and it moved, or else they shot it in different times, and by the time they got to this strip, the same cloud was over here, but it got distorted because that's what clouds do over time. They don't stay like the same thing over time. They distort, they change, they're fluid. They're in a fluid atmosphere that changes with wind, air currents. So no, this isn't copy and paste. And if it was, you could overlay these two things and they'd look exactly the same fucking thing. You are a dishonest piece of shit.
That's all. So Sky's story is nothing but a story. His video for astrophotography and that we never believe. Well, here's another video.
They look kind of alike. Look how this right here doesn't look anything like this. Notice that? Notice this part is in a complete different position. Notice that? See how this doesn't look the same as this? Did you notice that? Notice there's like this cloud here, but there isn't one here. Did you notice that?
Clouds. They've been copy and pasted or duplicated in some way. There you go. Busted. It's not real.
It is a defense of ignorance, ergo stupidity. But more than that, it is a pushy cult-fueled Dunning-Kruger effect, a declaration of, I don't know what I don't know, but I'm proud of it. There really is no point in debating with persons like that. They're not looking to learn, they're looking to prove a point. But I think it is just horrifying that humans can be so vulnerable to ignorance.
But why doesn't this look the same as this? Why don't they look the same, dumb fuck? Could it be that it's the same cloud, but the position changes because it's a panorama? It's shot in strips, in sections.
Getting on board with it and defending it at all costs.
Now, if they were doing like a time lapse, right? If they're doing a time lapse over a day, which is what it looked like they were doing, then they would have shot each one of those sections at a long enough time that it would have time to move. See, you shoot time lapse images spaced far apart, so you get the movement that looks like an animation.
I know this.
See, that wasn't a video. That was a time lapse video. That wasn't a straight video shot over a period of time. That was a time lapse video shot by a satellite.
This makes this video kind of dark, and I like my videos to be more upbeat. While flat earthers and their nonsense are not something I give a whole lot of thought to, the growing trend of the world toward ignorance of this kind and others is very concerning to me.
So again, PEA BRAIN thinks he's got something, but he doesn't. He's just a fucking retard. Just proving how ignorant you are, man. You just don't know shit. You haven't bothered to look anything up, and you haven't bothered to research anything you've seen. You just believe whatever other people tell you, and you make these videos embarrassing yourself. That's all you've done, man. You're useless. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Click the bell, do the thing, click the thumbs, whatever. And yeah, we'll talk to you later. We'll be seeing you.